NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. A public awareness campaign encouraging sex assault victims to share their stories is finding a voice here at NAIT.
The I Believe You campaign is asking people to flood social media with videos of support for survivors. It's an initiative our women's hockey team is getting behind. Our Clark Wilson has more on this story.
That's right. The campaign is a partnership between the Association of Alberta Sexual Assault Services and the Government of Alberta. Sports teams and schools across the province are using the I Believe You hashtag on social media to let their voice be heard.
We're from the NAIT women's hockey team, and we believe you.
The NAIT women's hockey team has made their message loud and clear for all victims of sexual assault by posting their video on YouTube to show their support.
I think it was a big deal for me being like basically a sports person or a spokesperson talking in something like that, because sexual abuse is a big deal in schools and for sports, especially men and women.
The Academic Success Center at NAIT is also doing their part for the campaign, focusing on educating instructors on how to support a student who has been assaulted.
One of the things that NAIT is really focused on this year is developing a sexual harassment, sexual violence policy. So we're working hard to get that up and running by the end of the year.
Edmonton Assault Center's Executive Director Mary Jane James says by doing one simple thing, it can make a huge difference.
We strongly want to encourage the community to understand that believing is the best defense against the perpetration of sexual violence.
Here at the Sexual Assault Center, representatives recognize the need for a provincial body to support a more collaborative and coordinated approach to sexual violence. For Haley Douglas, she feels communication is the best answer.
Holding something in like that isn't easy, and I just feel like coming out with it is better than hiding it inside.
For NAIT News.
If you would also like to show your support, the AASAS encourages individuals to post on all social media platforms using the hashtag I Believe You.
So Clark, where does the campaign go from here? What is the next step?
Well, Josh, the AASAS has partnered with Cause and Effect Marketing out of Calgary and Infinity Communications out of Oakville to execute a multi-layered 3-year program. The first year was celebrating the culture of believing, this year is celebrating the culture of telling, and next year will be celebrating healthier and safer communities.
Clark, is there anything else the women's hockey team plan to do to show their support?
Well, when I spoke to Haley, she says the team plans to donate one of their games to the campaign. It's still in the works, but she's really hoping they're able to make it happen.
Thanks, Clark. That's Clark Wilson reporting live from the South Lobby.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
A big funding grant for NAIT was announced this week that will go a long way towards helping students prepare for success while boosting the industry.
To announce a historic investment by our government.
NAIT receives $34.9 million for a new productivity and innovation center as part of the federal government's post-secondary institution strategic investment fund. The new center will give students the opportunity to develop, test, and commercialize new technologies and products.
We're here to support. We don't dictate how the construction happens, and we just expect the money to be spent to create immediate benefits, but also prepare our economy for the long term.
The 15,000 square meter facility will be home to NAIT's new shell manufacturing center. The federal government believes that these efforts will help Alberta and Canada diversify the economy, help modernize student spaces, compete globally, and improve environmental sustainability.
Norquest College is beginning a new chapter in its history with the brand new opening of the Singhar Center for Learning in the fall.
The chair of the Norquest College Board of Governors, and Jody Allen, President.
The Government of Alberta donated a $170 million grant for the $192 million campus expansion project. The new building will be located in the heart of Edmonton's downtown education district. The combined student population is expected to reach 50,000 by 2020.
But the point was to build infrastructure at a way that was very cost effective, and we're finding that the tenders are coming in significantly lower than the
The new Singhar Center will have labs, a daycare, a new library, food services, and student activity space, which will be open to students in 2017. The building will enable the college to accommodate growing student demand while continuing to deliver its workforce-relevant programs in student-centered small class settings.
Many people thought that the Oilers would just be unveiling a statue this past Wednesday. However, the Oilers Entertainment Group had a few more things to unveil. After the new placement of the Wayne Gretzky statue was unveiled Wednesday, the Oilers Entertainment Group also revealed the new Hall of Fame room. This room features Oilers memorabilia being loaned from the Hockey Hall of Fame and private collectors and replications of honored member plaques. However, that was not the only big announcement.
I introduce to you Wayne Gretzky, partner and vice chairman of Oilers Entertainment Group.
We felt that this was a really great opportunity for me to get back into the game and have a chance to do what we all want to do, win a Stanley Cup. So I'm privileged and proud to be back as an Oiler.
Gretzky was busy this week. He also opened up a restaurant at the Edmonton International Airport. We'll have more on that later in entertainment.
A new report is revealing some interesting facts about Edmonton. The Vital Signs report measures how Edmonton is doing as a community. This year shows that there are now more women than men, more pets than kids, and more students finishing high school. The report also focuses on a specific theme.
We chose to focus on the theme of immigrants. We adopted the theme, "We are all immigrants," because other than Indigenous people, all of us, have come from somewhere else.
The report shows that immigration improves the economy as well as counter Edmonton's aging population. To find out more, visit edmontonsocialplanning.ca.
127th Street has reopened to traffic between 118 Avenue and Yellowhead Trail in both directions, which has made traveling in that area easier and more efficient. Construction crews spent the last 4 months working on the project to complete the road as well as the south side of the Yellowhead intersection. The project included removal and reconstruction of the roadway, drainage, catch basins, sidewalks, and streetlights.
Living on the north side is already a longer commute to the 104th Street for Vancouver University, so the new road has really helped. Traffic in the neighborhood was already crazy to the summer with the road closed. It's definitely a great change in the neighborhood.
With construction being finished, the new road comes as a relief to many. The project to reconstruct the road on 127th Street began in May and was completed on schedule.
NAIT radio and television students are partnering with the Edmonton Police to start a campaign of education.
That's the spot right there. Yeah. Boys ready? Let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's go. Clip up. You got this.
Last year, the British Columbia Special Forces commissioned several PSAs in response to gang violence. The Edmonton Gang Unit is following suit after seeing the effectiveness of the PSAs and have commissioned NAIT students to help.
We don't do a whole lot with prevention, so we saw this as an opportunity to get some information for hopefully prevent some of this activity.
The project will be worked on by the radio and television students for the next couple of months.
A new awareness campaign is educating people about responsible drinking. Drink Sense answers questions and covers a variety of topics, from fetal alcohol spectrum disorder to first-time drinkers. This week, organizers were at Central Social Hall in St. Albert making mommy mocktails, which are non-alcoholic drinks geared towards pregnant women.
Part of this Drink Sense brand is to really just remind people about sensible drinking, responsible behavior.
It's not a shaming program or a fear-based program. It's a program about education.
For more information and non-alcoholic recipes, visit drinksenseab.ca.
A very special guest visited the NAIT radio and television program this week to inspire and encourage the next generation of leaders in the broadcasting industry. Scott Moore is currently the president of Sportsnet and NHL Properties. He gave radio and television students advice and tips for entering the industry and taking the right steps toward their future. He believes that investing in the students of the broadcasting industry is important and vital to the future of the media.
Well, NAIT has a great reputation. They've got a number of well-known graduates. I think it's important to invest in these types of courses, or else we're not going to be able to give the next generation the type of resources they need to invent what's next.
Sportsnet recently made a $400,000 donation to the radio and television program to fund scholarships, equipment, and production. Sportsnet hopes that these donations will help grow the business and shape the future of television and radio broadcasting across the country and ultimately the world.
Coming up after the break, we find out if energy drinks are worth that quick fix.
That buzz can provide more than just the energy.
Typically, it is safe to have 1 can a day, like 500 mils, and they usually recommend nothing more.
Coming up in sports, I have your NAIT Ukes women's hockey highlights. The Edmonton Huskies have made the playoffs, and I go to learn how to ride a horse.
We're midway through a gloomy October, and this weekend is promising a mix of rain and snow and below normal temperatures. I've got more chilling details coming up in your weather.
The Ice Castle is returning for another winter at Hawrelak Park.
Last winter, thousands of people enjoyed this awe-inspiring structure. It is the first of its kind in Canada and is made entirely by using icicles and water. Construction is expected to start in November, and news of its return has some people very excited.
I'm excited to go to it again. It'll be a good time. It's a good date spot. The music and light show was really cool.
The Ice Castle is expected to open late December and run until March.
It looks like October isn't warming up anytime soon.
I'm gonna have to keep my winter coat on standby if this keeps up. Our Cory Sellar has more on that in weather.
Well, you certainly need that winter coat for sure this weekend. Our neighbors in southern Alberta, however, are still enjoying some mild sweater weather. In Calgary, it'll be partly cloudy with only a 10% chance of showers and a high of +11 and a low of +2. Jasper will see a cloudy day with 60% chance of snow, which should get the skiers excited about a possible early downhill season. Expect a high of +2 and a low of -3. Fort McMurray is looking at an almost identical forecast with a 70% chance of snow to go with their high of +1 and a low of -2. Edmonton is looking to be a little better with only a 20% chance of rain-snow mix to make things nice and messy. Look for a high of +3 and a low of -3 under mostly cloudy skies. Here are a couple of factoids to really brighten up your weekend. The average daytime high for this day is +10 with an average low of 0. Today's record high for Edmonton was a July-like 27 degrees set in 1945. I remember that date well. And the record low in 1886 was -12. Look at that. Things could be worse. That's your weather for this weekend.
Weather, brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
It's that time of year again where students are starting to feel tired.
Our Michael Diatruk got the buzz on energy drinks.
Energy drinks are a popular drink among students, but are they causing more harm than good? Energy drinks have become a popular alternative for the younger crowd. A lot of people have begun to choose them over coffee for when they need that quick boost of energy. But that quick boost of energy can have more of an impact than we think. Nick Creelman, a registered dietitian with NAIT, spoke with me about the dangers.
With energy drinks, I mean, they are extremely high in sugar and about the average, maybe a little bit less in caffeine compared to a coffee drink, but yeah, you get that extreme high very quickly, which can result in our blood sugar spiking and dropping very quickly and giving you that kind of real quick crash. So then you're even more likely to overindulge in other food products too.
Students drinking energy drinks need to be aware of the chain reaction it can have in one's life. The recommended dosage per day is 1 can, but some students drink more than even that, building up a tolerance for the drink.
I was drinking one every morning and then one usually around lunchtime. And then I started having heart issues from it. So then I stopped. Now it's one every couple of weeks.
Energy drinks may not have an instant negative impact on the body, but there is still much to be learned about the side effects and long-term usage of the beverage. Michael Diachuk, NAIT NewsWatch.
Our sports anchor Angie Mellon joins us now with a look at sports.
I see the Ooks women's hockey team faced an interesting match for their home opener. Angie has more.
The NAIT Ooks women's hockey team looked to redeem themselves against the Red Deer College Queens after losing to them in the ACAC Championships last year. With Nate in white, the Ooks come out strong on the attack. Olivia Lakova is able to skate around the Queens. She fires it on net and scores. The score now 1-0 for the Ooks, only 4 minutes in. Shortly after, Ooks forward Lindsay Roth gets a penalty for cross-checking. She is quickly joined by her teammate Hannah Reimer, who gets called for tripping. Queens have a 5-on-3 opportunity now. Julia Wang passes it to Ashley Graff, who gives it to Jay Petrie. With a one-timer, she makes it 1-1. On to the second now. Nate's Alicia Milakova is rocked at center ice by Emily Swire, who receive a penalty for the hit, giving the Ooks a power play. The Ooks get close here with a shot from Kendra Hansen that is tipped by Milakova, but the Queens goalie is able to cover it up. On to the third now. Score still tied at 1. Queens player Emily Swire gets her third penalty of the game for body checking. The Ooks go on the power play. With a pass from Milakova, Carlin Bowie is able to put it in the net and she scores the game-winning goal. The Ooks are now 2-0. Their next game is tonight at 7 against St. in Calgary. Nate's Carlin Bowie was impressed with her team's performance and credits them with the win.
The intensity of the game was pretty crazy the last couple minutes, and yesterday's game we also won it in the last couple minutes as well, but honestly it wasn't just me. Like, it was all of our power play, we had all of our passes on. It was cool to be able to put it in, but it was all the girls out there.
The Oil Kings faced off against the Vancouver Giants on Tuesday night at Rogers Place. Oil Kings in the red tonight. The game went scoreless for 2, but things heat up in the third. Oil Kings' Kobe Moore takes on Giants' Brennan Semchuk. Later on, Giants' Bear passes it to Bondra, who puts it in the net to make the game 1-0. The Oil Kings get a chance here with Erin Irving firing it from the point, but they were unable to finish. Late in the third, Tyler Benson is able to score on the empty net to finish the game. The final score was 2-0, and the players were disappointed with their performance.
We knew what we had to do to beat these guys, and we felt like we were capable of that, but we couldn't get really anything going, or just if it was an unwillingness or just whatever it was disappointing.
The Edmonton Huskies hit the field for practice before their last regular season game before heading to the postseason, something they haven't been a part of in a while.
Good shot! Oh, baby!
The Edmonton Huskies won against the Winnipeg Rifles last weekend, guaranteeing them a playoff position with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses this season, which is a big improvement from their only 1 win last season. The team credits the improvement to a change in chemistry.
Almost like a player vibe and a coach vibe. It's just more of a family sort of situation we got going on. There was a lot of people going against each other last year. This year it's just everybody's kind of working together. Everybody gets what we want to do, and we're just going for it.
Before they head to playoffs, they have one last regular season game against the first place Calgary Colts, which takes place tonight at 7 at Clark Stadium. For this week's End Zone Challenge, I went to a different kind of arena to learn how to ride a horse.
This is Marina, and today I'll be learning how to ride a horse. So what's first?
Okay, so should we go over basic safety rules? Okay, so whenever you're approaching a horse, you'll approach from the shoulder. Woo. Because horses' eyes are on the side of their head, so they can't see you if you approach directly from the front or the back. So that's when you're most likely to get kicked or injured.
After the safety training, we took it to the arena.
You will grab the reins. Woo. You grab your horn. Woo. Okay. Your foot, I got kind of short legs, so this is going to be a tough time. In the stirrup. Okay. This foot in the stirrup. Up. Woo. Over.
Then I got up there.
We are going to show you your most important control, which is whoa. Whoa means stop. You're going to say whoa, and you'll pull back on the reins, and you'll say whoa. Okay? So that's the stop. Start. Do you know what go is?
Giddy up?
No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is kissing noises.
Okay.
Keep going. There. Way to go, Angie.
Well, thank you for teaching me how to ride a horse.
Anytime. No problem.
And that's all we have for sports this week.
Wow, that's great that the NAIT team was able to redeem themselves this year. Hopefully they can keep it up.
Also, good news for the Edmonton Huskies. Good luck to them in the playoffs.
Coming up after the break, Audrey and I sorted clothing for the victims of the Fort McMurray fire.
Fellow Edmontonians are encouraged to lend a hand in support of this project.
The things that you see here, the personal care kits, whether it's blankets or clothing, have gone directly to the residents in Fort McMurray.
I'm Chantel, and coming up in entertainment, I bring you to the Edmonton International Airport to show you Wayne Gretzky's new restaurant. I give you a couple things to do for the Halloween season, and we check out Shumka's new dance center.
Hair services provided by Rock Salon and Spa.
The massive fire that devastated Fort McMurray in May has still left many members of its community in need.
We took a trip to the Alberta Wildfire Donation Center to lend a hand in preparing packages to help support victims of the fire. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, also known as ADRA, partnered with the Government of Alberta to open a warehouse where volunteers can help sort and package donations to be delivered to Fort McMurray. The donations have come from all across the province, the country, and even the United States.
We have donations that include clothing, personal care items, household products, anything that you can think of, we probably have it, and we are providing for the residents in Fort McMurray.
As this is about to ramp up to close, we're going to need all the manpower that we can get. And so if you are in the Edmonton area and you'd be willing to lend a hand, we're needing all hands on deck as this program comes to a close.
The donation center will be open until November 30th. If you are interested in volunteering, the warehouse is open from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Sunday to Thursday. Oh man, Audrey, whenever I go to the airport, I always just look for quick and easy food, but sometimes I want to eat a good quality meal.
Well, if you do, you may be in luck with a new place that just opened up. You could even get a well-needed drink. Here's Chantel Germo with entertainment.
A highly anticipated restaurant hosted its grand opening this past week, and a familiar face paid a visit. Number 99 Gretzky's Wine and Whiskey opened early September, but the Great One former Edmonton Oilers player Wayne Gretzky stopped by the Edmonton International Airport for the grand opening of his newest restaurant to make it official. The menu features his own brand of wine and whiskey, but also includes dishes that are close to his roots.
I hope you come here and enjoy the food. As we said, we got a mix of that Polish part of the Gretzky family that will be part of the restaurant.
So if you like pierogies and sausage, Gretzky says you can expect a family recipe among many other different dishes at his new restaurant. Edmonton's oldest dance group has partnered with the city and province to better facilitate their needs. Shumka, Edmonton's Ukrainian dance group, began in 1959, and this past week they celebrated the opening of their new dance center. With the downtown area becoming the heart of the art scene, the recently renovated 14,000 square foot facility will help accommodate programs to continue to pass down Ukrainian culture to future generations.
Shumka's goal is to keep the center as an accessible and inviting facility for the community, a place that can become a true hub for the performing arts, culture, collaboration.
Member of Parliament Edmonton Centre Randy Boissonnault says that with the Shumka team performing on a global scale, this facility will help celebrate Edmonton's multiculturalism and teach students the importance of tradition. The centre also shares a facility with Rapid Fire Theatre and Bottom Line Productions, just to name a few. If the ghosts of Edmonton's past interest you, you may want to consider bundling up and heading to Old Strathcona.
Drag the woman's body into the bathroom.
The Edmonton Ghost Tour started up again this Halloween season and runs during Monday through Thursday nights. The tour highlights stories of murder, ghost sightings, and the eerie history from some of White Ave's oldest buildings.
You go by these areas every day and you don't actually realize the history that's there. It's very enlightening. It's got the right feel in the air. There's some crisp, cold air, leaves on the ground, and just kind of adds to the creepiness of the neighborhood. Yeah.
This is a family-friendly activity and accommodates anywhere from 4 to 40 people and is sure to send chills down your spine and even get you in the Halloween spirit. Tom Cruise returns to the screen as Jack Reacher in Never Go Back, following his starring role in the 2012 hit as a title character.
He's been set up.
Based on the book series written by Lee Child, viewers follow a former U.S. military major, Jack Reacher, as he fights his way through various missions and criminal obstacles. This time around, Reacher is accused of a 16-year-old homicide and must work to clear his name.
You think you're above the law, but I'm not the law. So you should start running, because I'm going to start hunting. And when I find you, I'm going to kill you all.
On his quest to discover the truth, Reacher may break a few limbs, but he also uncovers a secret he could forever change his life. Co-starring with Kobe Smulders, Tom Cruise not only leads the charge on screen, but also exhibits his talents behind the camera as a producer of this film. You can catch Jack Reacher Never Go Back when it hits theaters on October 21st. You're in luck. We have 2 free pre-screening tickets and a Jack Reacher hat to give away. Answer our trivia question over on our Twitter page for your chance to win. What age did Jack Reacher leave the U.S. military police? Good luck, and that's it for entertainment.
That movie looks pretty exciting. Do you think you're going to go see it, Audrey?
Maybe. It seems a little scary for me, but I do love Tom Cruise.
Well, that's our show for this week. Thank you for watching NAIT NewsWatch. I think I ended too early, but oh well.